it now. Sorry. You might have to click the little thingy. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you, and then I wanted to share with you a video that's on YouTube. I'm going to share my screen for you guys. I wanted to share this video with you because I want you to see or hear what I hear a lot of mornings when I'm doing my personal development. I'm going to share this right here. So put a thumbs up in the chat if you can see my screen right now. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to X out of Facebook. We are actually going to go over here. And I'm going to full screen this for you guys. I want you guys to give me a heart when you can hear what's on my screen. That way I'm not worried about you guys not being able to hear anything.
Somebody says, well, I used to read the books all the time. I've just gotten out of the habit. Then change it. Go back into your disciplines. If you've just gotten out of the habit, just get back into the habit. It's called discipline. If it doesn't work, don't do it any longer. You can keep your fingers crossed if you want to and hope that it'll all straighten out. You can wish for the wind not to blow quite as severely, to change in your favor, but we call that naive at best. If the habits that you've gotten into aren't serving you, change them. You can't keep doing this any longer. Don't wish for a better wind. The key is to wish for the wisdom to set a better sail. Utilize whatever wind that blows to take you where you want to go. That is the philosophy I picked up at age 25, and it revolutionized my whole life. And here's what I found. I found it was easy. I became a millionaire when I was 31, and I found it was easy. Now here's my definition of easy. It was something I could do. I figure if it's something you can do, it's easy. But here's a little parenthesis. I worked hard at it. I made sure my disciplines were in line. I made sure my habits were good. I made sure I did all that I could. I found something that I could do, but I worked hard at it. I got up early, stayed up late, and worked hard from age 25 to 31. But what I did was easy, meaning it was something I could do. Well, you say, Mr. Rohn, if it was so easy, how come during those 6 years, all those other people around you didn't get rich? Here's why. It's easy not to. How else would you describe it? That's it. It's easy to keep doing the things that don't work. It's easy to keep bad habits. It's easy not to develop the discipline. It's easy not to. So how come I got rich and they didn't? Here's a philosophical phrase. The things that are easy to do are also easy not to do. That's the difference between success and failure, between daydreams and ambition. Here's the key formula for success. A few disciplines practice every day. And those disciplines have to be well thought out. What should you spend your time doing? Don't waste your time on things that aren't going to matter. But a few simple disciplines can change your whole economic future. Future with your family, future with your business, future with your enterprise, your sales career, your management career.
The best caregivers in Maine
Sorry.
are finding the most rewarding careers with Woodland.
A few simple disciplines, a few simple habits, good habits, repeated every day. Now here's the formula for failure. Errors in judgment, repeated every day. All you've got to do is to have a few errors in your judgment and repeat them every day. I'm telling you, they'll spin out of control in 10 years. You'll end up driving what you don't want to drive, wearing what you don't want to wear, living where you don't want to live, earning what you don't want to earn. A few errors every day, bad habits every day, it's disastrous. Now, here's why it's easy to repeat an error in judgment. Because failure doesn't fall at the end of the first day. Bad habits don't show their horrible results at the end of the first day, or the first week, or the first month. It's easy to get faked out. If disaster fell on us at the end of the first week, we'd change our philosophy. But it's so subtle. Errors in judgment, bad habits. They're so subtle. They get you a little off course, a little off course, a little off course. You keep drifting off course, and all of a sudden you're caught. So you've got the choice right now of one of two easies: easy to do or easy not to do. I can give you in one sentence how I got rich by the time I was 31. I did not neglect to do the easy things I could do for 6 years. I did not neglect. That's the key. I found something easy I could do that led to fortune, and I did not neglect to do it. The major reason for not having more of what you want in America: more health, more money, more power, more influence, more everything. The major reason is simple: neglect. Neglect. And if you don't take care of neglect, it becomes an infection, and then it becomes a disease. So if you're in the habit of not doing it, doing all it takes to get ahead, get in the habit of doing it. Doing all it takes. That's the first benefit of positive reinforcement: building good habits. Now, the second benefit of positive reinforcement is that it creates the energy to fuel additional achievement. It gives you the drive to do more, to not only keep on doing what's right, but to do more of what's right. The disciplines that will help you grow and get ahead of it all. The knowledge that what you're doing is paying off creates more energy to keep going. How easy is it to get up in the morning when you know you're not doing all that it takes? It's not very easy at all. You can just lay there awake thinking, oh, what's a few more minutes in bed? It won't matter much anyway. Wrong. It does matter. It will matter. Now, how easy is it to get up in the morning when you're pouring it on, doing the best you can, anxious to get going, make progress toward your dreams? It's a whole different story. When you're resting to renew your reserves, it's much different than resting to avoid your day. When you're psyched up and excited for your life, when you're excited for what you plan to accomplish for the day, it's amazing. You'll wake up before the alarm clock even tries to startle you awake. Your successes fuel your ambition. Your successes give you extra energy. Your successes pave the way for more successes. It's the snowball effect. With one success, you're excited to meet another, and another, and another. And pretty soon, the disciplines that were so difficult in the beginning, the disciplines that got you going, are now part of your philosophy. How do you know when you're successful? Do you have to be a millionaire? No. All we ask of you is that you earn all you possibly can. If you earn $10,000 a year and that's the best you can do, that's enough. God and everything else will see to it that you're okay. The key is to just do the best you can. If it's $10,000 a year, wonderful. If it's $100,000 a year, wonderful. If it's $1 million a year, wonderful. It doesn't matter, 10,000 a year or $1 million a year. It doesn't matter as long as you've done the best you possibly can. Earn the most you possibly can. Be the most you possibly can. And here's why. The essence of life is growth. The essence of life is growth, to do the best you can. And here's what's interesting. Humans are the only life form that will do less than they possibly can. Humans are the only life form that will settle for less. Every other life form except human beings strive to its maximum capacity. How tall will a tree grow? Approximately. As tall as it possibly can. You never heard of a tree growing half as high as it could. No, trees don't grow half. Trees send their roots down as deep as possible, stretch their limbs up as high as possible, produce every leaf possible and every fruit possible. As a matter of fact, you never heard of a human physically growing half. We keep growing until we're done. Now that's a part of life we can't control. It's genetically coded. And that's probably why we keep growing till we're done, because we can't control that part. It's the rest of our growing that we control. The growing of our minds, the expansion of our minds, that we can control. And that's what tends to get away from us. All life forms inherently strive to their max except human beings. Now, why wouldn't human beings strive to their maximum possibility? Here's why. Because we've been given the dignity of choice. It makes us different than alligators and trees and birds. The dignity of choice makes us different than all other life forms. And here's the choice: to become part of what we could be, enough to get by, or to become all that we can be. My best advice for you is to choose the all. Earn all you can, make all the friends you can, read as many books as you can, develop as many skills as you can, see as much as possible, do as much as possible, make as much fortune as possible, give as much of it away as possible. The max, there's no life like it. I'm telling you, once I got on track, I've never looked back. Pick up the challenge, go for it. Take the best of the two easies. Take the route of it's easy to get ahead. It's easy to do all you can. It's easy to succeed. It's easy to have financial freedom. The more you do, the more you get.
Okay.
Building your online business?
Let's see if I can get back to this. Share screen. I'm not sure how to do this. Stop sharing. Okay. All right. Technical. Okay. All right. So, I hope that helped someone in here. This was seriously, Jim Rohn is one of my favorite people to listen to. If you've never been able to listen to any of his other videos or anything like that, I'm telling you right now, you totally should. He has shapeshifted my leadership so much. It's changed literally everything. So as far as the next part, I wanted to share something that I read in this book, actually. If you want to screenshot it, you can. And it seriously shifted everything for me because I come from a people-pleasing background. And if you don't know what that means that trying to conform yourself to literally everybody around you when it's almost impossible to do that. What I didn't realize was that along my journey that it was impossible for me to make everybody happy. And this book actually talks a lot about that. However, it also talks about the finding your happiness and like finding your real true joy in your life. And so I wanted to share this part with you, and there's a couple of different sticky notes that I have written down. So I'm just going to read through them and they kind of explain how it changed everything for me. So the first part says, problems never stop. They merely get exchanged and upgraded. Happiness comes from solving problems. The key here is solving. If you're avoiding your problem or feel like you don't have any problems, then you're going to make yourself miserable. If you feel like you have problems that you can't solve, you will likewise make yourself miserable. The secret sauce is solving of the problem, not in not having problems in the first place. To be happy, we need something to solve. So it's so crazy because we always think that, oh, well, when I get to the end, I'll be happy. When I make this amount of money, I'll be happy. When I am this way in my life, I will be happy. But in reality, we get there and all of a sudden we feel like we're just a sitting duck. We feel like, why did I get here, but I'm not happy? It's because there's no problems to solve. So that's why when you hear other leaders talk about how there's always a greater level, there's always more to be accomplished, there's always another goal to be set. No matter what, you're always wanting you always want to make sure that you have another goal to hit, because that's going to bring you happiness. It's not the destination that makes you happy. It's the process along the way. It's the journey along the way that makes you happy. So the second part of this book says, and if you think that at any point you're allowed to stop climbing, I'm afraid you're missing the point, because the joy in itself is in the climb. So that to me spoke to me in this book, because for so long when I first started, it was always, oh, when I go diamond, I will be happy. Or when I'm making $4,000 a month, I will be happy because I'll be able to do this, right? But in reality, I got there and I got to that point in my business, and then I stopped doing the things that I was supposed to be doing to get there, right? And that right there set me backwards. It was like a self-sabotage, because I was making problems for myself because I couldn't see a vision beyond that. So when I realized that about myself by reading this book, I started realizing there is no ending goal. There is no getting to a rank and just sitting there. There is no getting to a goal and just sitting there. You always want to make sure you have a goal in front of you, because if not, your mind and the way that we are wired, we will go backwards trying to self-sabotage so we can recreate problems that we can solve consistently, because that's what makes us feel accomplished and that's what makes us feel happy. Really crazy, mind-blowing stuff that I read in this. This is the last one and then I'm gonna leave you guys with this one on this book specifically. It says, if suffering is inevitable, if our problems in life are unavoidable, then the question we should be asking is not, how do I stop suffering, but why am I suffering and for what purpose? So it's really crazy, because I used to go through the ringer and back when I first started this business. And I mean, my life is still really, really crazy. Anybody got a crazy life? Like, drop a 1 in the chat if you've got a crazy life, just like me. Okay. Everybody's got a crazy life. There's always crazy things that are going on all the time. And so what I started realizing, was that when it came down to having things happen in my life and things just happening and derailing me, I used to look at it and say, oh my gosh, this is going to derail me. There is no way that I'm ever going to be able to, change my life or anything like that. They would literally make me feel like I couldn't move forward, until I started realizing that concept, that everything that you're going through right now is leading you up to the best version of yourself. I didn't realize this until I was about 2 years into my business. And then I started realizing that the reason why my dad had a heart attack when I first started this business, there was a reason why my grandfather passed away. There was a reason why I went through a point in my business where I lost rank and I almost had to go back to work. There was a point where I was struggling with my mental health in my business really bad. And I was in the hospital constantly with anxiety attacks every single day. There was a reason why I went through those things. And in that moment, I felt like it was the end of the world. I felt like I couldn't do anything. And I felt like I was just stuck in a rock. I was a rock in a hard place, But now I realized that God brought me through those seasons of my life so that I could sit here on a Zoom call and I could share these things with you, right? So that I could get a new girl that just started and have, crap hit the fan in her life again and again and again. And I can share with her through wisdom and going through it that she can too get out of it. So everything in your life is happening for a reason, and it's leading you up to a core purpose in your life and what you're meant to do and the path that you're meant to go on. So I hope that helps you guys. So I want to do this. This was done for me actually about 4 years ago. I had a mentor get on a Zoom call with an entire group of people and helped us visualize who we want to be and who we were. So I want to do this with you guys just because I feel like it's going to help you a lot. It's almost like meditating, but it's not. So I'm going to put some music on in the background, one of my favorite songs I listen to every single day. And I actually do this, guys. And what's really crazy is that when I first started my business, I was in a really, really tough time in my life. I was not who I wanted to be. I was struggling with my mental health every single day. And I just felt like there was no hope for me, you know, and I felt like there's no way that I could do something different at all. And when I started realizing that I could be anybody that I wanted to be, and that as human beings, we have the power of being somebody completely different the next day than we are today, right? We have the power to literally shapeshift and become somebody totally different. So I want to do this for you guys, and let's go ahead and close our eyes. Just every single person on here, whether you're on camera or not, close your eyes, and I'm going to walk you through this so that you can learn who you really are, okay? And I'm going to play this too. I hope you guys can hear this because music always helps me kind of get in the zone and everything. All right, so for a second, I want you to think of yourself as a different person. You are not really who you are. You're not really, I'm not really Chelsea. I'm not really Chelsea in the future. Think of yourself in the future as a different person, okay? What does she look like? How does she carry herself? How does she talk? How does she walk? How does she treat others? How do others look at her? How do they treat her? What does she wear? What does she drive? Where does she live? I want you to imagine what her family life is like. Does she have kids? Are her kids happy? Is she happy? How much money does she pull in? What does her bank account say? Does she smile every day? What does she do for fun? How does she spend her days? Is she happy through the days? What means the most to her? Who does she want to be? Who does she surround herself with? Are the people around her positive? Can they feel her excitement? Is she a leader? Do people want to follow her? Is she happy? What makes her most happy? I want you guys to understand that you're literally looking in the mirror. She is you. You love her. You feel the love for her. She is you. The only thing stopping you is that visual. And the biggest gap between you is what you believe. So I want to share with you guys, I want to share that with you guys because that was actually done for me years ago. And I'm telling you, when these questions were asked and I was listening and I was just sitting there with my eyes closed and I was just visualizing myself, I saw somebody that was totally different. I visualized myself looking different, feeling different, portraying myself as different. I visualized the way that people looked at me and talked to me and believed in me and believed in what I was doing differently. I visualized myself carrying myself with such confidence that nobody ever questioned what I was doing, that nobody ever would dare to come to me and say, like, you know, I don't believe in you, or I don't believe in that, right? And it was so crazy how crystal clear that vision got just by doing that I started doing it every single day. The Zoom call that I was on was not recorded, but I sat there and I listened to a song and I asked myself these questions. And I just took a minute and I just listened to my heart and listened to God's voice and, you know, where I was supposed to go. And it painted this crystal clear vision. I'm telling you guys right now, this happened for me about two years ago, I would say. And I've been doing this every single day ever since. And when I tell you that I'm not the same person that I was 3 months ago, I am not joking. I am a totally different person than I was 3 months ago. And if you you know, started on my team 3 months or more, or maybe you weren't super close to me 3 months ago, I'm telling you, like, you know how different it is. And so I want that for everybody. I want you to understand that who you are today does not mean that that's who you have to be for life. It's not a death sentence. You get to decide who you are every single day. And that person that you are visualizing, that you just saw in that image, she is you. But you have to make the decision to show up as her every single day. And you get to decide that, right? There's going to be people who are going to come in your life and they're going to try to distract you and they're going to try to tell you they don't like that version of you. But if you look at that, if you saw that vision of yourself and you saw how happy she is, and you saw her smiling and you saw what she was doing and how she was carrying herself and how she conducted herself, focus on her and who she's becoming, and you will grow to love yourself enough to not care what those people think about you, to not listen to those outsiders telling you what you should feel and who you should be on the inside. That is none of their business, and that is not their right to do that. So you have to cast that out. So I want to share that with you guys. I think it's really important. And the last thing I wanted to do with you, we've only got a couple of minutes left. So last thing I wanted to do with you is do some journaling. So let's pull out our journal, and we're going to journal for a little while. And I want to share with you exactly the questions that I ask myself. Now, you could take what I just did with you guys and you could literally write that down every single day. I do that quite often, where I will write down who I want to be, what my relationships will be like. And I'll talk about it like it is something that I'm so grateful for, and something that is in my present, not in my future. And the more that I do that, the more I start becoming her. And it's crazy because even my circle of friends that live locally, they see me and they're like, you're not even the same person that I saw on New Year's. You know what I mean? It's just completely different. So visualization is really key in changing your life. No matter what you're doing, you've got to know where you're going and who you're becoming in order to get to that next level. So I'm going to go through just the things that I do for journaling, and then we'll go ahead and start, and I will play some music for you guys. So the first thing that I do is I write down 5 things that I'm grateful for that have already happened. Like, I woke up today. I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head. I'm grateful that we have food in our bellies. I'm grateful that I was able to pay my bills. I'm grateful that that we have lights on in the house, you know, I'm grateful we have a vehicle, things like that, okay? Then I do 5 things that I am grateful for that I've not yet accomplished. So things that I want to happen in my future, and this ties right into the exercise I just did with you guys. Then I do 5 I am statements. So things that you want to call onto yourself, things that you want to be, things that you are, that you need more confidence in knowing that you are. I am statements. And this could go right back to who you saw yourself as. I am a strong leader. Was she a strong leader when you were looking in the mirror? You know, like, was she a someone who carries themselves with grace, or is she closer to the Lord? Like, what exactly do you see there? And then say an I am statement. The next thing I do is 5 qualities that I want in a team member. This shape shifted everything. When I started visualizing who I worked with, I could then show up as that person every single day on social media, and I attracted that person to me. So 5 qualities that in a team member that I want. And if you don't have a team yet, it's okay. Think about, if you were leading somebody else, what are 5 qualities in someone that you would want on your team? Do they show up every day? Are they doing personal development every single day? Are they getting on the Zoom calls every single night? Are they giving it their all and showing up? Are they having a checklist and writing it down? Are they thinking about the team and how they can contribute to the team? Are they making things easier by sending you screenshots every day? You know, like, what are they doing? And then the last one is the amount that you're going for. I always like to do this. If you're going for a bonus, or you're going for, let's just say, a monthly amount on your paycheck, write that number down, and then you're going to break it down for yourself on what that money is going to go to. So when I first started, I did this all the time because I wanted a visual. I wanted to keep it at the forefront of my brain. I would write down that I want to make $2,000 every single month, and I literally pre-spent that on a piece of paper. I wrote down 2,000, and then what was every single dollar amount going towards. So I would take like my mortgage, I would minus my mortgage, I would minus my light bill, I would minus my phone bill, I would minus my insurance, I would minus my car insurance and taxes and things like that, just so that I know what exactly it's going to, and then I make the decision that it is done. And a lot of the times I would write on my page, it is done. I am a $2,000 income earner. And I would say this out loud, and I would write it down. So that's what I do for journaling almost every single day. And you can write it down. I actually use the one from conference. I just started in this one. I used to have a bigger notebook, and that one's completely full. So I restarted in this one. So we're going to go ahead and play some music, and we're going to do some journaling. And we'll just do it for like the next 10 minutes. We're going to play my favorite song.
God doesn't care if you're mad and angry. He wants you to talk to him either way.
Hopefully you guys can hear this.
All my words fall short. I got nothing.
Sure.
All my words fall short. I got nothing new. How could I express all my gratitude? I could sing these songs as I often do, but every song must end and you never leave. So I hold my things to praise you again and again. Lord, I have in the heart and do how much that nothing else before. Therefore, falsely hallelujah, hallelujah. I've got one response. I've got just one. With my arms stretched wide, I will. Oh, 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 my soul, oh, don't you get shy when you lift up your song. 'Cause you've got a lion inside lungs. You do better friends. Oh, come on, my soul. Oh, don't you get shy when you lift up your song. On my soul, oh, don't you get shy when you lift up. So I hold my hand, praise you again and again. 'Cause all that I have is a hallelujah, hallelujah. And I know it's not much, I've nothing else fit for a king, except for a heart singing hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh man, I let the pain and the I speak the name of Jesus over you.
in your hurting, in your sorrow. I will ask my God to move. I speak the name, 'cause it's all that I can do. In desperation, I'll seek heaven. Pray this for you. Circumstances would change. Jesus, Jesus. For your healing, circumstances would change. I pray that the feel inside me in Jesus. In Jesus' name.
All right, ladies, we are going to hop off here. I appreciate you guys hopping on with me. It's been so awesome getting to share these things with you guys. And I hope that you have a blessed day.